Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The transcendental activities of Dhruva Maharaj are very known all over the world, and they are very pure. In childhood, Dhruva Maharaj rejected all kinds of toys and playthings, left the protection of his mother, and seriously took shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu. My dear Vidura, I therefore conclude this narration, for I have described to you all its details. Purport. It is said by Chanakya Pandit that life is certainly short for everyone, but if one acts properly, his reputation will remain for a generation. As the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna is everlasting famous. So the reputation of Lord Krishna's devotee is also everlasting. Therefore, in describing Dhruva Maharaj's activities, two specific words have been used. Vikyata, very famous, and Vishuddha, transcendental. Dhruva Maharaj leaving home at a tender age and taking shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the forest is a unique example in this world. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadankikam Vandeham Sri Gurum Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurum Vaishnavamsha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakan Vitamsha Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Tinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratvise Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhano Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarungasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So before begin, I first of all seek blessings from all the Vaishnavas, especially His Grace Anandmaya Prabhu. So this title we can see, Dhruva Maharaj goes back to Godhead. So from this title only we can see from the Srimad Bhagavatam, we can see there are so many pastimes, especially the different pastimes like Prahlad Maharaj and Parikshit Maharaj, so Prithu Maharaj. So like this there are so many pastimes are there. So we can see that from these pastimes we can understand that how one can go to back to Godhead. So what is the qualification to go to back to Godhead? So we can learn so many lessons and teachings from these great personalities. So here Sri Radha Madan Mohan ki Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maharaniki, Gaur Nitai ki. So we can see that how it is very helpful in our life to follow the footsteps of great personalities like Dhruva Maharaj. So here Prabhupada is mentioned in this purport that Chanik Pandit says that life is certainly short for everyone, but if one acts properly, his reputation will remain for a generation. So we can see that how the human life is very rare, that each and every moment is very valuable, especially for human beings. So as it is said in Bhagavad Gita, out of 84 lakh species. So human life is the most valuable life. So it is very difficult to get that life actually. So here in this verse it is mentioned Vishuddha Kamanaha. So Dhruva Maharaj, what is the good thing he did? That even though he have a material desire to get the greater kingdom of his forefathers, so but still he has taken shelter of Supreme Lord with the guidance of his mother. So here we can see that how Dhruva Maharaj, he performed the pure action by leaving home and taking shelter of Lord Vishnu. So we can see that akama sarvakama moksha kama mudardi tivrena bhakti yogena rajeta param mama. So here there are so many activities are there. Akama, moksha kama. So sarvakama. Generally sarvakama means so whatever the material desires, they perform different activities for fulfilling their senses. But here Dhruva Maharaj, he completely dedicated to the Supreme Lord. And he has taken shelter of Narada Muni. So in this, from Dhruva Maharaj's life, we can learn one thing, that is determination. So determination to what? Actually, he have a material desire, determination to get the greater kingdom, but still determination to approach the Supreme Lord. He want to take darshan of the Supreme Lord. So the first and foremost important thing that if you see when we take a seed and if you put in the land and afterwards we need to do watering. So there are three things are there here. So first is the seed, and unless until you will not put inside the soil, it will not grow up. So for that we need to pour water also. So the seed should be fertile, means potent. So if the seed is not potent, but even if you keep in the fertile land, you pour the water every day, but still it is no use. It will not grow up. And the seed is potent, but land is not fertile. But at that time also, it will not grow up. So like this, if you see, so the seed is compared to potent seed, is compared to that taking ashray, shelter from the bona fide spiritual master. So here Dhruva Maharaj got the shelter from Narada Muni. So because he is accepted Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, this mantra, and he chanted with faith and devotion. So even though he have kamana, that material desire to get the kingdom, because he chanted the pure holy name with faith and devotion, so then whatever his passion and ignorance go away. And so finally he has taken the pure holy name, so then he able to purify himself and he went up to the transcendental state. So here it is mentioned that Vishuddha Karmana. So that's why his activity is Vishuddha, very pure, you know. So that's why there are two things are there. One is material and spiritual. So that's why how Dhruva Maharaj is taken shelter of pure holy name that is connected to Krishna. So here we discuss that when we take this, the potent seed, we will keep in the fertile land. So what is the fertility compared to? So association of the saintly people. So one should practice Krishna consciousness with the association of the devotees. And one can take guidance from them. So and watering. Watering means the most important thing in devotional service is Sravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. So this every day we are doing this chanting for 2 hours and hearing Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. So like this, so these 3 things combined, then our devotional service, we can advance in Krishna consciousness. So here we can see that how Hitva Arbakaha Kridanankani means how Dhruva Maharaj, even though he is a child, he give up. That means generally if you take a children, they have a tendency to play games and they want to spend time like this. But here Dhruva Maharaj is determined to leave all these things, even he is ready to leave the home and mother. So generally if you see the children, they have so much attached to the mother actually. No? So without mother they cannot live. So but on the other hand, Dhruva Maharaj greatness is determined to leave all these things. So as the grown up, so how the children they attach to the games and all these things, but as they grown up they attach to the other things. So as the age approaches, in the youthful they are attached to the opposite sex, and they attach to the money, and they attach to the position, So like this they want prestige. So these are different attachments in our life. So here Dhruva Maharaj in the initial stage only, in the childhood only, is ready to sacrifice everything and go to forest. So this is the greatness of the Dhruva Maharaj. And so generally we can see that how there is an Indriya Preeti, so attached to the body, that sense gratification. So generally sadhu means, devotee means, the one of the important qualities is selflessness. So if you see in the Srimad Bhagavatam, there are so many pastimes it is mentioned that so great personalities like Prut Maharaj, Parikshit Maharaj, Ambrish Maharaj, so they performed so they rule the kingdom. So after ruling the kingdom, they ready to leave everything. So this is the great detachment. So they have everything actually. So sometimes we will hanker for something, and once we will get that thing, then we will attach up to the end of our life. But here the great personalities, they practice devotional service and they rule the kingdom, and afterwards at the end they are ready to leave. So here what is the secret to leave this kingdom and they are ready to sacrifice to the Lord? The secret is selflessness. So from initial stage onwards they are very detached and they want to serve the praja and they want to give Krishna for them actually. So the purpose of ruling the kingdom is to give Krishna for everyone. So then afterwards, ultimately they give the kingdom to others and they leave. And they completely focus on the Lord actually. And so here we can see in Dhruva Maharaj's pastime that Dhruva Maharaj go back to Godhead. So for that there are in Srimad Bhagavatam it is mentioned one beautiful verse. So there the qualities and what are the qualities required to go back to Godhead. Santa, Samadrisha, Suddha, Sarva Bhutanranjana, so Achyuta Priya Bandavaha. So there are 5 things it is mentioned actually. First thing is Santaha, so peaceful. And second thing is Samadrisha, equipoised. So generally they see equal to everyone, a saintly people. And Suddha, it is cleared and completely purified. So how they will purify? That every day by taking the shelter of the holy name, chanting the holy names and hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, by all these things they become completely pure. And Achyuta Priya Bandavaha, so keep friendship only with the devotees. Achyuta Priya Bandava, keep friendship only with devotees. Sarva Bhutanu Ranjanaha, so the art of pleasing others, other living entities. So like this there are 5 things. That is so those who get all these qualities of these most important 5 things, 5 qualities, so then they are most dear to Krishna actually. So how we will get all these qualities? By one should the root cause is Krishna Parayanaha. Krishna Parayana means, so one is more dear to Krishna actually. And so by this Dhruva Maharaj able to attain the kingdom actually. So here so finally here it is mentioned in this verse, Saranam, shelter. So by after leaving the home, Dhruva Maharaj taken complete shelter. So in the Chaitanya Charitamrita we can see the 6 aspects of surrender. It is mentioned. So Anukulyasya Sankalpa, Pratikulyasya Varjanam. So Anukulyasya Sankalpa, so one should accept favorable to the devotional service. And so here the most important thing is one should identify ourselves what are the favorable things for us to practice Krishna consciousness. So one should always look ourselves that how much I am favorable to Krishna consciousness. So generally we can see that how generally Prabhupada says that simple formula, that follow 4 regulated principles and associate with Vaishnavas and serving in the temple and rendering services. So here Pratikulasya Varjanam, so one should give up whatever our conditionings, So one should not break the vows which is given by the spiritual master at the time of initiation. So anything which is unfavorable, even for devotees when we render some services, like when we go for book distribution to some places, so where our mind will disturb sometimes, Sometimes when initially Prabhupada, when he told to his disciples to go and distribute Bhagavad Gita, so some devotees they go, some places like club and different places where there is so much Maya is there. So at that time, so with the Prabhupada's instruction, they followed actually. So similarly, we should see ourselves when we render services. So one should be very careful to take care, so that one can maintain our consciousness and practice Krishna consciousness. So here we can see that till leaving our body, the senses will trouble us actually, our senses. So that's why the most important and interesting thing is, so Dhruva Maharaj, when he was doing meditation, means he was chanting the holy names, so he able to see the Lord, the four-handed form of Vishnu inside his heart for 4 months. So then when he came outside, when the Lord is disappeared from his heart, then Dhruva Maharaj opened his eyes and able to see the Lord face to face. Means that he is guaranteed, means he got the ticket for going to Vaikuntha, But still, he does not live. For 36,000 years, he practiced Krishna consciousness. So he got the ticket confirmed to go back to Godhead, but still he practiced. So from this we can understand that up to the last day, he is going to the spiritual world. So when the Vishnu Dutas came, and at that time, on that day, he respected the Vishnu Dutas, then he performed the spiritual duties. Prabhupada mentioned here. He performed the spiritual duties. Means we can see here that until our last breath, one should follow the regulative principles, and one should chant the holy names, and one should hear. So maybe Dhruva Maharaj, for us, it is very extreme case. Why? Because he performed tapasya in Satyuga. But here we can see, we can learn from our current acharyas, like Srila Prabhupada. So Srila Prabhupada, he teaches how to live and how to leave our body, both things. So we can see, especially when Prabhupada was leaving his body, then so up to his last breath, he speak Srimad Bhagavatam. And constantly he was remembering Krishna. From this we can understand, So he is speaking the glories of the Lord. And he associates with devotees. You can see associate with devotees. So that's why we are very fortunate. Prabhupada arranged everything for us to go back to Godhead. But only one thing, one should remain in ISKCON, because there are so many moments are there, so many spiritual institutes are there, but ISKCON is very, very special. Why? Because it is connecting to the Guru Parampara, that is Prabhupada. So that's why, if we take the shelter of Srila Prabhupada, pure devotee, then it is the easiest way to go back to Godhead. Sometimes we think that, so as years is passing, sometimes we may think that I also can start one more movement like Prabhupada, so that I will get more followers. So like this, so many things are there. We will get, so many thoughts. So, but on the other hand, we can see in the Srimad Bhagavatam, there are so many pastimes. From Dhruva Maharaj section only we can see that Dhruva Maharaj after becoming a pure devotee, so Dhruva Maharaj's mother, she is also qualified to go back to Godhead. So we don't know how much Dhruva Maharaj's mother performed austerities and all these things, but because pure devotee his mother is connected to Dhruva Maharaj, so that's why she is also able to go back to Godhead. So that's why we can see that from the scriptures, how the relationship is very, very important actually. So that's why so Prabhupada is given very simple things. So if you see from the Dhruva Maharaj's life, the austerities which is performed by Dhruva Maharaj, so it is very difficult to perform in Kali Yuga. It is very, very difficult. So so what are the austerities we need to perform? There is a simple thing is there. follow the instructions what Prabhupada is given. Follow the instructions what our spiritual master is given. And follow the instructions of authority, what they are telling. Simple thing. If you follow these things, then it is very, very easy actually. So he told, follow 4 regulate principles, chant 16 dons along with devotees in the association of devotees, and hear Srimad Bhagavatam in the devotees association, and serve the devotees. So that one can easily go to back to Godhead. One should have faith and determination like Dhruva Maharaj. So Dhruva Maharaj got confirmed to go to back to Godhead, but he waited for 36,000 years. So 36,000 years. So he performed each and everything. So that's why, so one should have patience. One can learn from Dhruva Maharaj's life. That so here, from Dhruva Maharaj's life, we can see that first he has the first principle of devotional service is Guru Padasrayaha. So the taken shelter of the spiritual master, pure devotees. So one of the great thing is how Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he lived 18 years in Jagannath Puri. Every day he go to Tota Gopinath temple at afternoon time, and he used to hear Srimad Bhagavatam for Gadadhar Pandit. So Krishna himself, he came in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he is hearing in the association of devotees. So this is a perfect example to understand that how the importance of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam in the association of devotees. So it is not a matter, is a newfied devotee or So it is actually, even anyone, those who are reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam verses and the pastimes, that is transcendental. So that's why when there is a discussion of the Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, it is, they are free from envy. So there is no envy at all. So this is the pure transcendental topics, so which is coming from Parampara. So that's why here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he had the Dhruva Maharaj's pastimes for 100 times. So he lived for 18 years, means for every year 5 times hearing Sri, and also he had Prahlad Maharaj's pastimes. So he want to set an example for each and every devotee, an ideal example how a devotee should live and practice. So here from Dhruva Maharaj section, we can see one of the unique thing is that he is a sadhaka and he have the material desires, and then after taking shelter of the holy name, he became a pure devotee and go to back to Godhead with the very life and with the same body. So one thing is that in devotional service, mainly that when the plane came, then he pay obeisances to the plane, and he circumambulate the plane. So from this we can understand that anything which is connected to Krishna, paraphernalia, that is the same potent, So that's why we can see every day, from the morning onwards, when once after doing deity worship, whatever paraphernalia that remnants like gandha, vasana, so like this different things are there. We will smell the flowers and we will smell the scent. So like this, there are so many things are there which is connected to devotional things, paraphernalia of the Lord. So those are very transcendental. It is not ordinary. So even the tulsi, which is offered to the lotus feet of the Lord with gandha, so that is also one should accept. So that it is said that those who accept the tulsi every day, which is offered to the lotus feet, so then whatever the pure impurities, that will go away. So that's why that it is very, very fortunate for us that we are getting all these things. And also every day we worship the Tulsi Maharani and we sit and chant in front of the Tulsi Maharani. So it is said that those who chant the holy name in front of Tulsi Maharani, then whatever our impurities, it will go away at the time of chanting. And so here like this, there are so many things are there. Anything which is connected to Krishna is completely pure. So that's why we are very fortunate to accepting all these things which is connected to Krishna actually. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Thank you very much for all the devotees. Srila Prabhupada ki, Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki. Hare Krishna.